This is Marshall Abrahams, and a warm welcome to the Crestus Mystery. I'm reading the Jesus Papers by Michael Bagent at the moment, whose name I'm sure will be familiar to plenty of you. He recounts a snippet of information from Suetonius's biography of the Emperor Claudius, which Bagent felt might or might not prove that Christ was still alive in about AD 45, having survived the crucifixion. And Suetonius says, because the Jews at Rome caused continuous disturbances at the instigation of Crestus, he, Claudius, expelled them from the city. Well, I thought it was in the highest degree unlikely that Christ would have come to Rome except under duress, and had he been known to have survived the crucifixion and been caught, it would surely have been recorded by the jubilant Romans, especially if he'd been instigating disturbances. But Suetonius is silent on that, and instead Claudius expels the Jews. Why? Claudius was emperor and the Romans are very specific about this sort of thing, from 24th of January 41 to the 13th of October 54, and knowing that Caradoc had been in Rome at about this time, I began to ferret. I found that the expulsion of the Jews is cautiously dated to have taken place during the so-called 26th acclamation of Claudius, which happened sometime between January of 51 and August of 52. And these narrowed down dates really made me sit up, because Caradoc was brought to Rome in chains with his family after the inconclusive Battle of Caer Caradoc in AD 50. Briefly, he had travelled from Glamorgan to what is now Yorkshire to seek the help of his kinswoman, Aregwedd of the Brigantes, known better and for some strange reason as Cartimandua or Cartismandua, she perhaps believing that the Romans would allow her to continue ruling over the Brigantes, betrayed Caradoc to them, and he was taken prisoner. What if the Crestus referred to by Suetonius was not Christ himself, as Bagent thought, but Christ's family in the person of Caradoc and his queen and their children? Wouldn't the Jews be overjoyed and cause a great many disturbances to have members of the Holy Family among them, and especially such important ones? It's worth remembering that Caradoc did not suffer the same horrible fate as the valiant and honourable Vercingetorix, leader of the Gauls. Indeed, Caradoc and his family lived as hostages for 7 years at the Palatium Britannicum in Rome, and Claudius adopted Caradoc's daughter Gladys, giving her the adoptive name of Claudia, and marrying her to an Umbrian nobleman, thus tightening the bonds between himself and his kinsman Caradoc. I think of this as a sort of a treaty between Rome and Britain. Sorry, that's Rome and Britain. Claudius was the last known emperor to speak Etruscan, then far closer to the British language than Italian is now, and according to Morgan, since Latin is based on the Cymric language, Welsh, Claudius's name is, with others, of Cymric significance. But Claudius was walking a more than usually narrow political tightrope, and so had to be seen to do something about the rioting and exultant Jews. Unable or unwilling to wreak vengeance on Caradoc, he expelled the unfortunate Jews. Caradoc was in Rome until AD 58, by which time Claudius had been poisoned, and the maniac Nero had become emperor. And given Nero's attitude to Christians, I find it strange that Caradoc should have survived at all, never mind to have made it home to Britain. Well, that's just a little something to ponder on, and I would like to say an additional welcome to my viewers in America, and also I seem to have some in Thailand, which is wonderful, and we're edging closer to 500 subscribers. So if you've watched this and have enjoyed it, do please consider subscribing to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you all the next time. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.